Hello, it's Yellow. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well myself today, and I'll be talking about a trip that was so iconic, but it ended horribly. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so this was the school trip. Everyone had been waiting for like forever. We were going to the seaside, which already sounded like freedom because no parents, hotel rooms, and teacher who pretend to be strict but low-key give up after 10 p.m. And this was like a short 2-day trip before the end of the school year, and the trip was optional, but like all the classes, including mine, said, hell yeah, let's go. So yeah, the day started way too early. Like I swear it was still basically night when I had to get up. My alarm went off at 5:30 and I just stared at the ceiling questioning all my life choices. I'm not even gonna lie. But also, I was excited. So I dragged myself up, threw random stuff into my bag, and I forgot most important things, but never mind. And my mom drove me in front of the school parking where I met my friends. We were waiting for the buses to arrive, and I met my three friends, which I was the closest with at the time. We were outside the school at the parking lot waiting and talking and just making jokes. We were freezing a little because everyone got dressed like it was the middle of the summer, and then finally, after a good half an hour of waiting, the buses finally arrived. We got on the buses, rushed to get to the back of the bus so we can all sit together. And then the bus ride, pure chaos. Everyone was loud from the start. Someone brought a speaker, of course. People were already eating snacks like it was their first time eating snacks. And there was that one kid who tried to sleep but got bullied the entire time. Yo, we were singing, rapping, yelling, telling jokes, playing games like Mafia, and switching seats even though the teacher said not to. You know, normal school trip behavior. At some point, I actually did fall asleep for like 20 minutes, woke up with my neck completely messed up, but it was kind of worth it, I'm not gonna lie. And then finally, what felt like a whole lifetime, we arrived at the seaside. And the first thing you notice at the seaside is the smell. Like, the salty air just screams out summer. Even though it wasn't super warm yet, it still felt amazing compared to being stuck in a school all day. But before we could do anything fun, we had to go to the hotel. So I was actually expecting some kind of sketchy hotel, but the hotel was actually decent. I'm not gonna lie, clean with the rooms and everything was okay. Not huge, but big enough for 4 people to absolutely destroy within an hour. So we got our room key, raced upstairs, and immediately claimed beds like it was a competition. I was in the lead, but one of my friends made me trip and lose my balance. I fell down laughing and screaming at him like a mom would at a 4-year-old daughter when she's not behaving well at the playground. I swear this was like a circus. And all my three friends got to the room and claimed their beds, and I had to get the bottom bunk, which was not fun, but it was just for the one night, so I was like, whatever. Then we unpacked a little, but mostly just threw our stuff everywhere. Clothes on the floor, bags open, snacks already gone on the way there. Then we had a few hours just to chill. But we went to the city because the hotel was nearby the center to gather the supplies, if you know what I'm talking about. Some people went for a walk, some stayed in their rooms, and we just kind of hung out, talked, laughed about random stuff, and slowly got ready for the evening because everyone knew the real highlight was gonna be that evening. So evening comes and the teachers are like, okay, we're all going to the beach together. And when I say all, I mean all the classes. It was like these huge groups of teenagers just heading toward the beach, and the energy was already crazy. The sun was setting, which made everything look kind of aesthetic, I'm not gonna lie. Like pink sky, waves, people laughing. It actually felt like one of those movie moments. At first, it was chill. We were just sitting around talking. We had music playing. Others were walking near the water. Teachers were with us a little bit, but then they went into some sort of cafe. And we kind of had that sense of freedom. So we just looked around at each other. And then it was time to bring out the drinks. Now, I'm not saying it was a good idea, but also I was like, it's just a little, what could go wrong? Famous last words, by the way. At first, I was just sipping, some beer, nothing crazy. But you know how it goes. Everyone's hyped, people are laughing, someone hands you a shot, and you're like, sure, why not? Bad decision. Please don't do this. Because after a while, I could definitely feel it. Like everything was funnier than it should be. I was talking louder than usual, just screaming out funny shit, and walking a straight line suddenly became impossible. We ended up closer to the water where there were these stones instead of sand. Not the smooth ones. Oh, no, no, no. The sharp, uneven, and I dare even say they were evil. And somehow, in my brilliant state, my dumbass thought I was Ezio Auditore for some unknown reason, and spoiler alert, it didn't end well. I somehow slipped, and it wasn't like a cute little stumble. No, it was full chaos. My foot went sideways, inwards. I don't know how to describe it. I just lost my balance and I just felt blood running down my leg. Yep, it scraped across the stones. I just remember that split second of, oh, this is gonna hurt, before the pain actually hit. And then it hit. I looked at my leg and it was just a blood trail, like scratches everywhere, some deeper than others, and it was already starting to bleed. My friends were at first dying from laughing, and then when they saw me bleeding out, were like, "Oh, bro, you okay?" While also trying not to laugh, because honestly, the way I felt was probably ridiculous. I don't remember it, but they told me it was straight out of a movie. And I was half laughing, half in pain, like, I'm fine, but I was definitely not fine. And let me say this, guys. If you guys have best friends and you fall down and they don't laugh at first, they're not your best friends. They're good friends, but not best friends. So yeah, walking back was an experience. My leg was hurting so bad, and I was also still kinda drunk, so I didn't feel the pain yet. We got back to the hotel, and the teachers obviously noticed something was up. And then when our main teacher saw me, she pulled out the FBI interrogation card. I tried to act normal, but yeah, she wasn't buying it. She cleaned my leg, which hurt even more, and I had to sit there trying not to act like a little baby. Oh, it was 10 out of 10, one of the worst parts of the night. And after that, I was basically done. No more beach party for me. I went back to the room, flopped onto my bed, and just existed. My friends came in later. I was half asleep, and there was a whole theme park roller coaster in my head. And when they came into the room, they didn't care if I was sleeping or not. They were just telling me and screaming everything I missed, which honestly was just more chaos. And someone went skinny dipping, which sounded like fun. I wish I did that, but I got too drunk. So when I woke up the next morning, it was just pain. Actual pain. I woke up immediately and felt my leg, and I was like, all right, that happened. It was all banged up, but still sore as hell, and walking that day was not fun. Also, I had that why did I drink so much feeling, which is never a good feeling, guys. We had breakfast at the hotel, everyone looked tired, like you could tell nobody got enough sleep. People were either super quiet or way too loud for the morning. And then, of course, it got worse. Our teacher came up to me and was like, "We need to talk." Immediately, I knew what was coming. So yeah, she pulled me to the side and it turned into this whole serious conversation about responsibility and safety and how what I did was not acceptable. And I was just standing there like nodding, trying to look like I had my life together. I did not. I did not. And then she said she was going to call my parents. I swear my soul left my body because right before I got dropped off, my mom said to me, "Please watch yourself and don't do anything stupid." Let me emphasize on the don't. And later that morning, I found out she actually did call them. So the whole time I was just sitting there stressed, knowing I was absolutely finished when I got home. Anyway, after that emotional damage, we had to pack up because we were traveling again back home. Dragging my suitcase with an injured leg and the fear of being grounded, yeah, it was not ideal. And the bus ride back was way calmer than the way there. Half the people were asleep within like 10 minutes. No music, no chaos, just silence and occasional snoring. I spent most of the time just staring out the window, overthinking everything, and already imagining my parents' reaction. And yeah, when I got home, grounded. Fully. No going out, no games, and nothing fun for a while. Was it worth it? I mean, kinda, because even with the injury, the lecture, and being grounded, it was still one of those trips I'll never forget. Like, we wait so long for these moments, and they're over so fast. And now I'll forever be known as the person who wiped out on the stones at the beach and got their parents called. Honestly, still kinda iconic. And that leads me to the moral of the story, which is if you're gonna drink, please drink responsibly. Don't mix alcohol, and sometimes the best memories come from chaotic moments. But maybe think twice before making dumb decisions because they can hurt, literally. And that's the end of this story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did because taking that trip down memory lane is one of the best trips ever. And that's the end of this story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did because taking that trip down memory lane is one of the best trips ever. With that all said, I hope you guys have a good night or day and stay yellow.